Good Wednesday morning, graduates of the class of 2021. All right, welcome to campus. My name is Wayne Edwards, professor and chair of the illustrious and dynamic Department of American Studies and Media and Communications. Having recently returned to Old Westbury's faculty ranks after serving in several administrative posts, I thank our president, Dr. Timothy Sams, our provost, Dr. Duncan Quarles, and Ms. Danielle Collins-Groner, chair of our commencement committee, for asking me to do the honors of greeting you today. And what a magnificent department to do those honors for. It's a privilege that I do not take lightly. That said, once again, welcome graduates of the class of 2021. As I was preparing my notes, I almost wrote, welcome students. But after Sunday's commencement ceremony, you are no longer students. You are now officially alumni of the college, so give yourselves a well-earned round of applause. I also extend greetings to faculty, staff, administrators, members of the College Council, the College Foundation, and friends of the college who are with us today, either in person or virtually. And last but not least, I extend greetings to your families, your friends, your loved ones who have supported you throughout your impressive academic journey. Please make some noise to show them your love and appreciation. Now, I want to try something because I know it's early, 9:30 in the morning, but I am sure that you can make a little more noise than that to show your love and appreciation. So please, American Studies, Media and Communications, make some noise. Okay, now you sound ready. All right. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce someone who is not only a dear friend and colleague, but more importantly, someone who holds a special place in the Old Westbury family. Laura Anker is a distinguished service professor of American Studies and director of the First Year Experience and Community Action Learning and Leadership programs. The CALL program has earned Old Westbury a place on the President's Higher Education Community Service Honor Roll every year since its inception in 2007. Dr. Anker is co-editor of The Ethics of Engagement, Educating Leaders for a Just World, co-author of Women of Courage, a study of Jewish and Italian immigrants in New York, and has published peer-reviewed articles and presented papers at national and international conferences on the importance of civic engagement and community learning for retention, intercultural understanding, social activism, and effective global citizenship. Dr. Anker is not only an esteemed academician, but she's also a community leader and a frequent speaker on issues of education and immigration. Dr. Anker was elected to the East Hampton Union Free School District for 7 terms. That's 21 years, and served both as its president and vice president. She currently serves on the board of directors of the Eleanor Whitmore Early Learning Center and Long Island WINS, an immigrant advocacy organization, as well as on the executive committee of the East Hampton Group for Good Government. In 2018, Laura Anker was honored by the Old Westbury College Foundation with the Leadership Award, and in 2019 was awarded the Outstanding Experiential Educator for Higher Education by the National Society for Experiential Education. I could go on, but I think you get the idea. There are many accolades that we can bestow upon Dr. Laura Anker. Please give her your warmest welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Wayne, Dr. Edwards, Daniel Collins Kroner, Dr. Sams, other members of the administration, faculty, but most important, thank you to our students, our wonderful graduating class of 2021, the largest graduating class in Old Westbury's history. Please give yourselves a big round of applause. While we were able to honor you virtually in Sunday's grand formal graduation with all its pomp and circumstance, we're all so happy to be able to celebrate your achievements in these small, more personal, in-person ceremonies on Old Westbury's beautiful campus. And just tell me, how happy are you to be back at Old Westbury? Let's just clap. I will tell you that it made my morning just seeing you walking around, hearing what you're doing. It's just amazing what you've accomplished. You're an amazing group. Although health precautions imposed by COVID-19 prevent your parents, extended families, and significant others from being in this room with us today, we're live streaming the events, and you can take pictures with them outside. And if you want to take them with them and your faculty, will come outside just to memorialize this incredible occasion. I know that as your greatest cheerleaders, your parents join us in applauding your achievements, academic, personal, and civic, the ways you have grown and the obstacles you have overcome to graduate from Old Westbury. Without their love and support, you would not be college graduates. Please join me in applauding them once more. Born out of the struggles for civil rights and economic, racial, and gender equality of the 1960s, Old Westbury is a young college with a long tradition of commitment to diversity, equity and inclusion, educational empowerment, active learning, community engagement, and leadership for change. From its inception, Old Westbury was committed to providing an elite, interdisciplinary liberal arts education in a democratic context, to educating those who had been traditionally bypassed by American higher education: women, students of color, immigrants, working class young people, and older adults. By graduating, you demonstrate that you have, in the words of Adrienne Rich, claimed this very special college education. Although we often talk about education as a gift, Adrienne Rich reminds us that learning never occurs, is never passively received. It requires active engagement and the courage to challenge preconceived ideas and boundaries, and you've all done that at Old Westbury. So many of you represent the first generation in your families to graduate from college. Most of you have worked often too many hours while finding time to study, to help support yourselves and contribute to your families. Your graduation itself challenges the widening divide, economic and racial, in American society. By being here today and in your contributions to your families and communities, you personify Mahatma Gandhi's often quoted phrase, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." I know that the faculty, administration, and staff gathered here today share my respect, admiration, and even awe at the enormity of your accomplishments. Graduating from college is a major achievement in normal times, but you have persevered under the most challenging of circumstances, a worldwide pandemic that has ravaged our nation and the globe, forcing you to complete the last year and a half of your college education remotely. Despite the difficulties of a transition to virtual learning, you've excelled academically and contributed as tutors, teaching assistants, college and community ambassadors, poll watchers, essential workers, and so much more. You are leaving us to continue your education in graduate programs and professional schools, or to begin your careers serving our society as teachers, lawyers, computer and environmental scientists, traditional and digital artists and graphic designers, print, video, and photojournalists, and new media journalists as well, entrepreneurs, counselors, social workers, psychologists, governmental officials, nonprofit fundraisers, researchers, and advocates for public health. All of you know to speak truth to power, knowing that education is the essential foundation of a democratic society and engaged global citizenship. As college graduates, you will enjoy more rewarding careers and earn at least $1 million more over your lifetime than those whose highest degree is a high school diploma. But your Old Westbury liberal arts education will continue to enrich your lives in so many more important ways than money, making you happier and transforming your careers, your friendships, your ideas, your values, and your communities, the person you are and whom you will become. I can testify that learning from the differences and similarities in your voices and stories inside and outside the classroom has shaped my life and who I am as a teacher, historian, community activist, friend, spouse, mother, and grandparent. And I was thinking that it also has transformed, you have transformed the lives of my children and my grandchildren because of the ways that you've changed me. So your impact is enormous. You are graduating from college at a particularly difficult time of our nation, during a global pandemic which has taken so many lives, and I know that it has touched so many of you very personally. It has accentuated the problems of racism and inequality that have plagued our country from its inception and continue to undermine our democracy and our humanity. But you, the Old Westbury graduating class of 2021, make this also a time of great hope and optimism for a better future. The unique diversity of Old Westbury has enriched your classrooms and challenged all of you to listen more fully, reflect more deeply, think more critically, decide more ethically, care more intensely, love more broadly, and act more courageously and compassionately in everything you do. It has taught you, in the words of Martin Luther King, that an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. As Old Westbury graduates, you know that the greatest measure of success is the contributions you make to the community. You've learned from the different experiences and perspectives of your classmates and faculty to speak out and act against racism, sexism, inequality, and cruelty, to break that silence and bridge some of those differences between us. As Audre Lorde reminds us, for it is not difference which immobilizes, but silence. To a divided nation and world, torn apart by racism, hate, inequality, and the decimation of the environment, you bring the ideals and values expressed in Old Westbury's historic social justice mission: access and equity, inclusivity, critical thinking, empathy, creativity, intercultural understanding, lifelong learning, and civic activism, a commitment to building a more just and sustainable world. As graduates, you have become part of Old Westbury's history, but you also join the family of global alumni, 31,000 people strong, who will shape the college's future. We look forward to staying in touch and connected as you embark on your future journeys, and hope that you will channel the magic of Old Westbury to the problems of your communities, our nation, and the world today and in the future. Thank you, and congratulations once more. And now it is my great honor to introduce our new president, Dr. Timothy E. Sams. Dr. Sams began his tenure as the 6th president of Old Westbury in January 2021 amid the COVID-19 pandemic, protest, political unrest, and the pivot to virtual learning. Dr. Sams brought with him 3 decades of experience in improving academic success and college completion, particularly for students from underrepresented and marginalized communities. In the 4 short months since his arrival, Dr. Sams' commitment to Old Westbury's students and mission has won him the admiration, respect, affection, and increasingly love of the entire Old Westbury community. His leadership promises to advance Old Westbury's impact on the local and global community and our standing as one of the most diverse colleges in the nation, with a commitment to educational access, excellence, equity, and once again, to building a more just and sustainable world. Dr. Sams.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Before I give you my quick remarks, I want to ask you to join me in thanking the many people who've made this moment, as well as Sunday's commencement, virtual commencement, possible. We're going to start by thanking Dr. Anker for her wonderful words, and I ask that you join me in giving her another round of applause for her tremendous presentation. And then I'm going to also ask you to help me to thank Dr. Edwards for managing, in spite of this being the illustrious department of the college, which he obviously is highly enthusiastic to be able to manage. But we really appreciate the work that you're doing today. And next, I'm going to ask you to thank once again Ms. Danielle Collins-Groner for the work that she has done as producer, writer, director, actor, camera woman, everything, and putting together our virtual ceremony that we watched on Sunday, which I think the general consensus was just excellently done, as well as the 14 different recognition ceremonies that are taking place this week. We thank you for that work. And then finally, we know that she can do almost everything, but she did not do everything. There are a whole host of folks behind the scene, from those who received you to those who ran and got extra balloons last night at 11 p.m. God bless them. Anyway, to the videographer, to the ushers, to SGA, and the swag bags they provided. This is really, really important for a whole lot of people. I just want to ask you to give a final round of applause to those folks. On Sunday, virtually, we recognized approximately 1,400 undergraduates and graduates who completed their studies here at Old Westbury. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we had to conduct the ceremony virtually, but in my opinion, again, we did a great job. Yet today, we continue to honor you, graduates, with this recognition ceremony that is designed to allow you an in-person opportunity, especially with your faculty. I just want to pause and underscore how important this moment is for your faculty. They've watched you grow. They've watched you learn. They've watched you meet the challenges. They've watched you create challenges and then meet those challenges. For them, commencement is as important for them as it is for you. It's a confirmation that they've done a good job. And symbolically, it is their way of saying, well done. And so this is an important for them, especially. My job is simply to say welcome, welcome to your ceremony. But also, in addition to this moment being important for your faculty, it is also important for many of us in this room who are wearing their regalia. Because without your graduation, we would not be able to wear our wonderful robes, right? And so we really appreciate your giving this opportunity to wear our regalia, which is so powerfully important to us, right? Okay. I mean, look at them, right? We owe you graduates an even greater note of gratitude for allowing us to be a part of your growth and your development for the last 2, 4, or even 5 years. You've taught us so much more than you can ever imagine. And I think Dr. Anker said it eloquently when she pointed out the way in which your engagement in the material, your commitment to rigor, your wrestling with ideas changed her life every day and every year. By way of formally welcoming you, I want to tell you this, that in West Africa and Ghana, when you return home after a trip, you sit in the living room, the family assembles, they bring you a cold drink, and they ask you to tell them everything that you've done since the last time they saw you. And they do mean everything. And if you don't, they'll pelt you with questions. That seems appropriate to me as we think about the fact that we haven't seen you in person for almost 1.5 years. But in that 1.5 years, you quarantined, you took care of your families. Some of you may have even said your final goodbyes to loved ones. You took to the streets and organized against racial injustice, all while maintaining your focus on your goal of graduating this spring of 2021. So it's fair to say that since you left us 1 year ago, you've stayed focused, you've stayed rigorous, you've stayed engaged, you've stayed committed to your future in the time since we last met. And because of that, we are immensely proud of you. We truly, truly are proud of you, and we honor you. And welcome to your recognition ceremony. Thank you. I invite back to the podium the illustrious Dr. Edwards.
Okay, so as we move toward the conclusion of today's ceremony, I ask that you give a round of applause to Dr. Sams, to Dr. Anker for their illuminating and inspiring words. So I want to ask you if we can make a deal. And there's two parts to the deal. So hang with me here. As I was growing up, my mother told me, my older brother, my younger sister, that if we're fortunate enough, if we're blessed enough to achieve any level of success in life, that we must recognize that it's because there was somebody, or more likely many somebodies, who reached out a hand and helped us along the way. None of us achieve success on our own. And I bring that up because as you move forward as alumni, leaving this great institution and going out into the world, I guarantee you that in your career paths, whatever that may be, you will encounter opportunities where you can help someone, where you can be the person extending a hand and pulling someone along. And I think as Old Westbury alums who want to represent our college in great fashion, I hope that you will be agreeable to this first part of the deal, which is to take advantage of those opportunities and help others just as others have helped you. Can we agree to do that? Now, my mother would say, the clapping is nice, but I want to hear you. All right, so can I get a yes? Yes. Okay. Second part of the deal is, as alumni, you may or may not know that no college survives, no university survives, much less thrives, without a strong alumni base. And you are now part of that 31,000 strong Old Westbury alumni family. And we're hoping that we can count on you for your continued support. Okay. Now, if you're sitting there saying, continued support, is he talking like financial support? Yes, I am. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Because your financial support, and this is not unique to Old Westbury. I get emails all the time from my alma mater. Can you help us? Can you help us? And I do. And over the years, the amount that I was able to help has increased as my career took hold. But let me explain why it's important. Because your financial support helps us maintain scholarships that go to our students. Some of you in this room, I'm sure, have benefited from scholarships. Goes to faculty research. Goes to programs and activities for students. And in the case of fundraising campaigns, like our recent Student Emergency Fund campaign, with your help and support, or the help and support of your now alumni family, we were able to raise over $100,000 to provide pandemic-related relief for students in need. So your support is important, but it's not just financial support. Okay? As I said, we're going back to that reaching out a hand. If you get a call, if you receive an email, I don't see Penny Chin in the room. Penny is our Director of Alumni Relations. If you haven't heard from her yet, you will, right? But if Penny reaches out to you and says, you know, we have this event on campus coming up, and we would like you to come and speak to students, to share your experiences, to share your stories, to share how getting this degree has helped you. That's a fantastic way of reaching out and giving back. So can we count on you to do that, to stay in touch with the college, to help students coming behind you, to remain connected to SUNY Old Westbury? Can we ask you to do that? All right, so you know what? That's good, but that's the wrong thing, because we know we can ask you. The question is, will you do it? So will you help? Will you stay connected? Can I get a yes on that? Yes. All right. Okay, so our ceremony concludes this morning with graduates. We'll move row by row with the help of volunteer ushers, starting from the back of the room up to the podium. As you make your way to the podium, you'll see the screen over there, or Zoom screen, where many of your faculty who have worked with you, helped you, supported you, graded you throughout the years are waiting to say hello to you. So please take a moment to say hello. Then as you work your way to the podium, remember, we are social distancing, so leave a space between you and the person in front of you. Hand your yellow name card at the podium and cross the stage. Stop for a photo with President Sams and wave to your loved ones watching from home. Just wave to those two cameras in the middle of the room. Faculty in attendance will greet you after your photo with President Sams. And after being greeted by faculty, I'm going to ask that you return to your seats for one last Old Westbury formality, after which you can take pictures at the designated areas. You can meet your family and friends outside, meet faculty outside, and take more pictures. So that said, Dr. Sams, can I ask that you please take your position in the center of the stage? Yeah, they're on the, yeah, there. Mm-hmm. Okay. One thing I neglected to mention is you will also receive an Old Westbury swag bag. Lots of good stuff in there, courtesy of your Student Government Association. Lastly, I would like to invite our Acting Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Mandy Friskin, to come to the podium to read the names of our graduates. Dr. Friskin?
Katrina O'Brien. Joseph Eschman. Nyla Allen. Shapur Jem, Media and Communication. Nina Crawford, Media and Communications. Amber Green, Media and Communications. Amanda Weissman, Media and Communications, cum laude. Oscar Martinez, Media and Communications. Graciela Cuji, Media and Communications. Brianna McInnes Noel, Media and Communications. Inak Beko, Media and Communications. Anthony Vega, Media and Communications. Devin Barbieri, American Studies. Amani Ince, Media and Communications. Jaquana Greenwood, Media and Communications, cum laude. Cheyenne Mason, Media and Communications. Ilana Vatkin, Media and Communications. Christopher Pinkney, Media and Communications. Joshua Richter, Media and Communications. Natalia Ventura, Media and Communications. Alexander Pruden, Media and Communications. Andrew Mercogliano, Media and Communications, magna cum laude. Jordan Brown, Media and Communications.
Well, again, congratulations to all you graduates. I'm going to ask you to give a round of applause to your faculty for the many. And then, because this is really all about you, I'm going to ask your professors and your faculty and your staff to turn toward you and to give them a rousing round of applause. Congratulations. One final thing. Can I ask you to take your tassel and move it to the right side of your mortarboard? This is that moment where you get to graduate 2 times from Old Westbury in 1 week. On the count of 3, you're going to take your tassel and move it to the left side of your mortarboard, and you will be a second time official graduate. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, our ceremony has concluded. Thank you.